Hi to all of our Big Tractor Power fans. We are back up and here at the Wathen Family Farm Day. Our first video was not able to complete. Unfortunately, my phone overheated, which I'm filming this with. So we will try it again. I'm going to be riding around on a gator and a shaded canopy, so hopefully my phone will not overheat. And we're going to just take a look at all these tractors that are on display. There are over 50 four-wheel drive tractors here at the farm today, as well as 100 total tractors on display that are all part of the Wathen family collection. And I thank you for everyone that is tuning in. So we're down here on the lower part of the farm looking at some of the big four-wheel drives, and we've got an Oliver 2655 LP tractor sitting here. I believe there are only about 42 of these here on display. I'm sorry, there are only about 42 of these Oliver LPs built. Yes, it's hot out here today. My phone overheated on our first attempt at the tour of the farm, so I'm going to ride around and hopefully it won't get as hot here under the canopy of the gator. I am going to just step off so you can take a look at a couple of the tractors. We've got an Oliver 2255 tractor. These are really popular Olivers. The last Oliver built back in 1976 was an Oliver 2255, and they're just really cool. Hello to Kenya. That's pretty cool. We've got someone from Kenya here today. I've met some people that traveled all the way from Michigan and Missouri to the farm here in Evansville. The Wathens just have a really great collection of tractors, and some of these tractors get out in the field and work. Others they kind of get out to play with, so we'll just kind of drive around and look at them. And I've got Eddie here who's helping me drive. Say hi, Eddie.
Hi.
Here are some homemade tractors. This is built off an old Euclid truck. And all these tractors actually do run. Some definitely need a paint job, but Chris Wathen, who has amassed a lot of this collection, is always looking for tractors to save and bring back. And it's better to have a rusty tractor than to never know it existed and have it end up in a scrapyard. So we'll move up, and here's one of the tractors that works out in the field. It's a Versatile 876, and it's got the Ford emblem on the hood there. You'll notice this was put out right after Ford acquired the Versatile Tractor Company, so they hadn't painted them blue and white yet, but it's got that blue logo. Here we've got a nice classic truck. I think it's an REO, or it says RCT on it. I'm not as familiar with trucks, but it's pretty cool looking. We'll keep on rolling down here to the Steigers, which I do know a little bit about. I enjoy researching and studying these, and I'll just hop off here, Eddie, and we'll look at these. So here's a Stars and Stripes Steiger. This is a Tiger 2. It's there are only 37 painted in red, white, and blue, and we'll see another Stars and Stripes here. That's a Series 3 a little later. But 37 of these red, white, and blue tractors were made. Here's another very rare Steiger, and this is a Panther ST310, which is pretty common, but this one was painted pink originally, and we can see up here some of that pink paint right there. And we come up here on the fenders, you can see some of the pink paint showing through. Of course, on the steps where there's wear. Chris will eventually restore this tractor back to its pink color. It came out of Oklahoma, and the story on this Pink Panther is the original driver or owner was a race car driver, and green is not a lucky color in racing, so he got a pink tractor instead. We've also got an Alice Chalmers 440 built by Steiger for Alice Chalmers. This was a Bearcat Steiger offered for several years during the 1970s. Get one more side look here of the Pink Panther. Here's a really good example. You can see the pink paint on this side even better. You can see the pink up there on the fender. That entire grab rail is pink. The Ertl Toy Company offers a toy of the Pink Panther. This was built in Fargo, North Dakota, and specially painted pink back in the 1970s. Again, you've got the Cummins triple nickel in this AC 440. This is the early style 440 with a white cab. Later models had an orange cab, and it's got the naturally aspirated V8 engine with those twin pipes up front. My favorite tractor in this entire collection is this Co-op Implements Cougar 2. Again, a very rare tractor built by Steiger for Co-op. Co-op had about, I think, 68 dealers in Canada. That's where they were sold and distributed, and not every Co-op dealer of those 68 was selling tractors. So you can imagine there weren't a whole bunch of these Steigers. They also distributed Deutz and Volvo two-wheel drive tractors through Co-op Implements. It's got the big Caterpillar engine in it. This is something that hopefully very soon Chris is going to come out here and run this, and we'll get to film this and do the full story on the Co-op Steigers on Big Tractor Power YouTube. Another cool tractor part right next to it, one of the ones that works out in the field, is the Panther KP 1360. This is a mainstay of the farm. Does a lot of disking in the spring and the fall out here on the Wathen farm. You can see here it's a Panther KP 1360 from the early 80s. Hello from Hungary. That's very cool. I'll try to read your comments. The sun's kind of glaring, so I can't see everybody, but I really appreciate you tuning in. Here's a Steiger Panther 3 ST325. Series 3s were introduced on January 17th, 1976, and I can always remember that date because it's my birthday, and I'm a big Steiger fan, so I always thought that was pretty cool. You can see here it's with a 45-foot wide Kraus soil finisher. We can kind of look back and see some of these Steigers. Then we've got a Turbo Tiger 2 on this side. I always like the Series 2 models. They were built from 74 through 75, and they just have a very distinctive look. And here is our Turbo Tiger 2, 320 horsepower. Again, it's got a Cummins 903 engine in it. We can walk up here and see that engine in there. This is another one Chris is going to get out, and hopefully I can do a video of this, turn it up some ground and share it. I'm working on a video on 60 years of Steiger history, and as you can see, the Wathen collection is going to be a big part of covering all those tractors. We'll walk over here and see some more of the Steigers. Here's a Puma 1000. This is the farm's planting tractor. It pulls a 24-row Kinsey planter, and it plants almost all of their corn. They have an International 986 with a 12-row planter that catches some of the fields. But these Pumas are really neat. You could actually order a front-end loader for them, and just an overall versatile tractor. Only 168 horsepower, so it's kind of a baby Steiger. And we'll see that Steiger's always offered a smaller tractor for planting. We'll see the original Steiger built for planting a little later in the tour. Here we can see a Steiger Tiger. This is a Series 1 model. These were among the first tractors built at the Fargo factory in North Dakota after they left the barn that the Steiger brothers first started building tractors in. The Steiger brothers were building tractors in the winter of 1957 in their dairy barn, and that was in Thief River Falls, Minnesota, the Red Lake area. And this is a Tiger 800. This would have been the very Steiger series built in their barn before they went to the factory. And actually I have to correct myself. I just said it was a Steiger Tiger, which is what is on the side. You can see it says Tiger, but we look down here, they've got some cards out here. It's a Steiger 2250. This is a tractor I've never seen before. I know about the 2200s, but it says there's 1 of 8 built, and this one came out of Chamberlain, South Dakota. That's pretty cool. Even Big Tractor Power can learn some things here at the farm, being built at the farm. Again, these later models, like the 2250 that we just saw here, and this 800, they look like a Steiger that came out of the factory. There were 26 of these 800 Tigers built. Now we can see some of the barn-built models that were more famous for being at the factory. This is the 3300, and it's a monster tractor. And then this 2250 would have come along after it, and then the 800. We'll hop back in here in the Gator and ride up and see a couple more. Let's go look at this 2200 here. So this tractor is named Fatso. There were two built with these big Terra tires, and you can see here we've featured this power a few times. Got these big flat flotation tires known as Terra tire. I believe originally, if I remember history, this went to a grass farm in Oregon, and they ordered two of them, and Chris had one of the two. We've got two different Steiger 1700s. These were, again, the original built series. They got the big V in the grill. I believe this one over here, it still has the original Steiger decals on it. This belongs to a friend of mine, Scott. If you check out Toy Tractor Time YouTube channel, you can see Scott built an entire replica of the Steiger factory, and it's on YouTube, or the barn that served as a factory. And this is his Steiger, and it's pretty cool that he's collecting the big real ones. So again, lots of four-wheel drive hit down here. We call this area the sandbox. Chris gets some of the tractors and runs them right in this lot here, where we can, during the summer, so we can add some footage classics that he can work with out in the field and share the history of tractor power. We've got a nice 1206. And this is another planter tractor. This is a 7120 Magnum, Case International, and they plant all their soybeans with this tractor. 16 row, 30 inch, 31 row, 15 inch Kinsey planter. But we'll hop back in the Gator here. I should be able to, maybe some of if you want to ask some questions, we're going to run up here and just look at some of their implements. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Here's their Brilliant Packer. Yeah, I like the Oliver 25